So it's March 29th, 2020, and I'm on top of a hill right now. Well, not technically the top of the hill, but pretty close. So like pretty much everyone else in this world, I just kind of needed a little bit of a distraction. And I'm really kind of blessed to live where I do in eastern Kentucky, in central Appalachia, where I can, my backyard is basically a few acres of hillside. That's where I'm at right now. So as far as photography goes, there's not a whole lot going on. We're in the middle of the forest. Compositionally speaking, everything's really chaotic. There's not really a whole lot to do, but we do have one thing going for us. It's springtime. So it means it's warm outside. It is absolutely beautiful today, and it also means that there's going to be some spring flowers on the forest floor. So that's what we're going to be looking for today, because there's a lot of different species out right now, from bloodroot to dwarf crested iris to red trillium, and it's going to provide a lot of different opportunities for some macro photography. But really what I'm doing today is just getting out of the house. My wife and I, we're really blessed to have careers in which we can work from home, and that's what we're currently doing right now. It may take a little bit, but we're going to get back to normal. But for now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to be walking around and looking for some macro shots. I'm actually going to go this way, which, as you can see behind me, is it's a road in the middle of the forest, because this used to be a surface coal mine. When I was a kid, this was an active coal site. But now it's the forest again. So, welcome to eastern Kentucky. One of the other things I've been looking for as I've been walking along here are just textures on the forest floor. There's a lot of dead leaves left over from last year. I should be able to find something, maybe. It's worth looking for anyway. So as it turns out, I found maybe 7, 8, maybe 9 different kinds of wildflowers up here. I didn't video all of them because, dang, that's a pain. But here's a few of them that I did get, and I'll put them up on the screen now and identify them as they go along. So one thing I wanted to talk about while I'm up here is my macro setup. It's a little bit unorthodox. It's mostly just cheap. A few years ago, I bought a set of just metal extension tubes, some photodiox extension tubes. Nothing, no frills, certainly. They're about, I don't know, $10 when I bought them. And I've had them ever since. And I've been shooting macro with them ever since. I haven't used anything else. And for a light source, I just, I bought a Yungyo. I think that's how it's pronounced. YN562 speed light. I've had it for about the same amount of time. And it's worked remarkably well for what it is. Maybe all in about $80. And I don't have a dedicated macro lens. I just use Canon's 18-55 kit lens. It came with a 70D that I bought several years ago that I've since sold. Gone through a couple more cameras since then, and I use it on my 90D, which I have here. Basically, I just trigger this flash with this flash, and that's my lighting source. Like I said, it's very unorthodox. I don't know anyone else that uses that system, and probably for a good reason. It's a little bit awkward, but it's something that I've really gotten used to. So one thing I would want to note if you did want to use this setup, and I don't know why you would, but if you did, I guess anytime you would want to use some extension tubes that do not have the electronic connections that would allow you to control your aperture setting. One thing you will need to do, because the depth of field in macro is so shallow, you're going to need to stop down quite a bit. So I usually stop down to F14 or F16, and even that's kind of a weird way to do it. You have to stop down, hit the depth of field preview button. There went my extension tubes. Good thing they were only $10. But you have to hit the depth of field preview button, take the lens off, put everything back together like that. It's a weird way to do it, most certainly, but it seems to work for me. So I was just talking about textures on the forest floor. I think I found maybe a decent composition. Let me show you. All right. So as you can see, this is just a rotted log on the ground, but it's got some really nice shapes and textures in it. So I'm going to set up here. I'm not going to show shooting it, but I'll show you the picture if anything turns out on it. Well, it is getting late now, so I'm making my way back down to the house. And when I left, my wife was making a big kettle of chicken and dumplings. So I've got that to look forward to. So, this was a good distraction. It really was. I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful to live in a place where my backyard is basically what you see over here, over my shoulder. I think it was my sister-in-law said a couple of days ago or very recently, love where you live. This is one of those times where I'm really thankful for where I live, for sure. And there's the house. And on that note, I'll see you later.